Hello there guys and welcome back to my channel for a new segment, a new kind of series that I'm going to start on this channel. I was meant to promote this on my live review of Blues Fans TV last night, but I forgot. But basically what I'm going to do is the day after every single game, on which of course I do my live reviews over on Blues Fans TV, I'm going to do sometimes a live stream, sometimes a proper video talking about what I think we really learned from that game, because there's always so many talking points, so many important things and so many small things that I want to pick out that in my live reviews straight after the game, I only read up on interviews later. I only, recap on the game myself. I watch a few things back. I watch a few more replays and I have slightly different opinions on some things the day after. And this is what we're here to do, and hence why the video and the stream is called What We Really Learned from Brighton 1, Chelsea 3. And alongside what else is in the title with Reece James, magic, because that goal was pure magic, and the Kepa Arrizabalaga woes with, Edouard Mendy about to be coming in from Rennes to, give us goalkeeping competition. There's plenty of other things to talk about, whether it's Timo Werner's superb Premier League debut, whether it's why Kai Havertz actually wasn't as bad as some people seem to think and some people seem to have thought. Let me just get that light a little bit closer to me so I'm a bit more evenly lit. See what I did there? Not on purpose. Why Marcus Alonso was awful. What's going on with Loftus-Cheek? So many things to discuss. So let's do that right now and today. Everyone that's tuning in, I really do appreciate that. Whether you're tuning in right now as a live stream or whether you're watching it later on as a video, regardless, I appreciate you a lot. And if you're new here, that's again the wrong thing. And if you're new here, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. That'd be massively, massively appreciated. Honestly, help me get to 7,000 subscribers initially, and then onto 10,000 subscribers. That'd be massively appreciated. Drop a like if you're watching this right now as a live stream or as a video later on. And of course, if you are watching as a video, make sure you leave me your thoughts on the game yesterday down in the comment section below as well. But where do we start? I guess let's start from the back. Let's start with Kepa Arrizabalaga. Because I could do in chronological order of the game, but then I'll forget things. So let's just do almost like the lineup was. So let's starting from the back, which in my opinion makes sense. Now Kepa wasn't actually all bad, to be honest. Kepa wasn't actually all bad. Frank said that in his post-match press conference as well. He actually saw a bit more confidence from him. He came for a corner or two, didn't really deal with them all too well, but he still came for them, which is a big, improvement already. He has to try, otherwise he can never get there. And he had one or two decent saves in the first half as well. But then that goal. But he isn't the only one that's to blame for that goal. We had 9 players behind the ball when Trossard takes the shot on his weaker left foot. 9 players behind the ball. Mount isn't closing down. No one else is closing down. You can say, yeah, Mount is the closest. You should be closing down. But all the other players are set way too deep. We're playing against Brighton here. We're Chelsea Football Club. While we're 9 men basically in our own box. That's crazy. We need to be pressing a little bit harder. And, I'm not saying that's down to Lampard in this case, because I'm sure he wants that. But the players just need to be doing more. But that doesn't excuse what happened after, because Trossard did manage to get away that shot. No one did manage to get a block in. And then it just came straight at Kepa. And he didn't manage to save it. Yes, it wasn't quite as easy as some people might think, because it bounced right at him. Or right where he put his hands, basically. Hence why he got there, basically. He wasn't too short, he wasn't too slow. And he didn't not react as he's done many other times already. He was there. But he was just a bit, he just misjudged it. He had his arms too high. The ball just went under his 2 hands. And it went in. And that can't be happening anymore. It can't be happening anymore. I mean, Frank Lampard said after the game, if we're bringing in a goalkeeper, which we are, by the way, guys, Edouard Mendy is coming. Hopefully very soon. I still very much doubt he will start against Liverpool, but he will be coming in, probably before Liverpool. And, it will be competition, and hopefully, apparently, according to Matt Law, that's the plan for Mendy and Kepa to try and get the best out of each other. But if Kepa keeps making mistakes like that, he's not going to be playing much more. And it's depressing. It's genuinely depressing, because I like the guy. I like the guy. His distribution was, again, yesterday, much better than it was in a lot of games last season. So there was improvements there, more confidence. I was happy with him. He's still very vocal. And it was good. I mean, overall, we had a very good defensive performance, and that starts from the goalkeeper. When we have bad performances, whether we concede or not, we blame the goalkeeper and the defence. And like this, when we have a generally good defensive performance, bar 2 moments, the goal and Lewis Dunk's free header, we had a good defensive performance against a good team. You have to give Kepa some credit as well. but it's still struggling. You can't make mistakes like that. When you're a goalkeeper, these mistakes are just highlighted even more than if you make a mistake like that as a midfielder. Someone like Ruben, I will touch on that in a minute. He made mistakes arguably quite equally as bad as Kepa, but Kepa is the goalkeeper. There's no one to make up for his mistakes. If you're a midfielder, there's people behind you to make up for your mistakes, and that's the big difference. Hence why Kepa, needs to kind of start to sort himself out. But let's continue with some negatives. Through the team, and then later on I will talk about the positives. Over 30 people of you watching already, really do appreciate it, every single one of you that is here. And of course, make sure you subscribe. Like I said, make sure you subscribe, help me get towards 7,000 subscribers. Share this if you want, share this to people, so more people tune in, and tell them to subscribe. And of course, drop a like if you're watching this right now, or as a video later on. That'd be genuinely massively appreciated. But the next negative I need to touch on is Marcos Alonso. Yes, we've signed Ben Chilwell, and once he's back from injury, we won't have to deal with the nightmare that is Marcos Alonso so many times anymore. But honestly, I said this in my live review on Blues Fans TV last night as well. Every time I watch Marcos Alonso play, he surprises me again with how bad he is. Every single time, I'm surprised at how bad he is. The only thing he can do is score goals. And even that half the time he's not that good at. Because the guy could score many more goals than he actually does, pardon me. Really rough throat. And no, I don't have the bad thing. Definitely do not. But first of all, he's so slow. I mean, Tariq Lamptey, fair play to the kid. He took the absolute Michael out of Marcos Alonso. Tariq Lamptey is just unfortunate that we have Reece James and Azpilicueta at right back, because otherwise he definitely would have been playing more and he wouldn't have wanted to leave. Which is disappointing that he left, especially without a buyback clause, because he was brilliant last night. Took that absolute piss out of Marcos Alonso, and he's just too bad. He can't pass the ball, he can't control the ball, he's too slow, he can't tackle, he's so slow in dribbling, he can't cross. Yeah, he can score, but that's it. And honestly, it's so depressing, and I just cannot bloody wait for Ben Chilwell to finally be back, because honestly, it hurts. It really hurts. And then coming to the next negative, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I put a post out on my Insta story and on Twitter as well last night. Follow me, by the way, on both of those. The links to them are down in the description below, at last1507 on both of them. Oh yeah, wait. I have an Instagram graphic. Ha! There you go. It's a bit laggy because it's slightly too big of a file. Anyway, follow me on Instagram. That'd be good. That'd be bloody good. Is something not working here? I don't know. Is that if anyone's in the chat, can you people just say hello? Because I've not seen anyone say anything in the chat, and I don't know if that's something not working or if that's just no one talking for the time being. That's just what I want to know. So if you're here, please put something in the chat. Oh, there is someone in the chat. There we are. Don't know why it didn't show up, so needed to open a new window for that, which isn't ideal. But here we are. I've got the chat open now, so thank you for that. Of course, I will put. It's good, mate. Yes, everything's good. Sorry, guys. You're a bit delayed to me, obviously. I will get to what you guys put into the chat, obviously, later on. Appreciate that. Thank you. Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I put a post out on Instagram or Twitter, all sorts. I still believe in Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I so much believe in Ruben Loftus-Cheek. The guy was hit so hard, 13 months of injury. Then, football stopped, and he was stopped again. Then restart happens, and he only has cameo appearances. Then we basically don't have preseason, and okay, he gets a start, and he's struggling. Yeah, he struggled in the preseason game already. But give the guy a little bit of time. People have been so harsh on my live review yesterday. Honestly, so harsh. Give the guy some time. Yeah, he was bad yesterday. Awful moments. He tried to be too slick. He tried to play like it was Sarri's season. He tried to play exactly like he did in that season. But it's just not happening for him right now. And that kind of makes him lose his confidence in every single game whenever something doesn't come off for him. And then he's kind of struggling. That one through ball that he should have had for Werner that would have made it 2-0 in the first half already. Just has to be better. A couple of times where he lost possession in midfield and we were kind of hit on the break and kind of half conceded if it wasn't for decent defending behind him. Struggling. Barkley came on, and you know what I think of Barkley, but Barkley came on and changed the game for us for a while. I mean, Barkley's pass later on for Werner was equally as bad, if not worse, but he helped us. He carried the ball a bit better. He held on to it more. He controlled the game a little bit better. He stepped a bit deeper than Ruben did, although I don't think that was Ruben's fault at all. That was system-wise, which we'll get to later on as well. But he was struggling. And but I still want people to give him time. It's important that people give him time. It's very important that people give him time. We should sell or loan Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Cho and invest in Rice and Benrahma, in my opinion. I strongly disagree. But yeah, the other slight negative, or which I personally believe wasn't actually quite as bad as people think, is Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz, people say, oh, he wasn't good. You know, he didn't shine. He had that one shocking pass where he just passed out of play to the other side, tried to pass it across to Alonso and just mishit it completely. But I thought he had a decent game, you know. He wasn't incredible, but I thought he had a decent game, especially when I look back at certain things. His pass completion was good. He had attacking passes. His touch of the ball was great. Yeah, he had one really bad pass or two, arguably, to Werner, when Werner again would have probably been through and possibly could have scored. But other than that, I thought he had good moments. You know, his positioning was good. His runs were good. That's 80-yard sprint very late on to make up for one of his own mistakes when he lost possession just outside the Brighton box, and he won the ball back in our own box shortly before he was taken off. It's really good. It's really, really good. Like, the guy needs some time. He's only been in training with the full group for 4 days. You can't expect to be incredible after 4 days. To be honest, that goes for the entire team. You can't expect them to be incredible. The guy will be good, and he wasn't as bad as people think. His touch was good, his work rate was good, his positioning was good. There's a lot to come from Kai Havertz. Trust me, there is a lot to come from Kai Havertz. Mason Mount is kind of a half negative, half positive. His pressing was good again. Sometimes he just played weird over the top balls to someone that just wasn't there, which he needs to sort out. I don't know whether he was trying to find Werner with those or Ruben with those, but he just wasn't finding anyone. And that is a good fair point by Harrison in the chat. Why play Havertz in the wings? I don't fully understand that one either. We'll have to wait and see what happens when Pulisic is fully fit, when Ziyech is fully fit, when Hudson-Odoi plays himself into Lampard's favour again, if that ever happens. Whether Havertz will then still be used on the wing. Will we then use this kind of half 4-4-2, half 4-2-3-1 system that we had last night? Will it be more of a 4-3-3 with 2 attacking 8? What position will he play? Will he play as a 10? Will he play as an 8? Will he play out wide? Will he even play as a false 9? We'll have to wait and see. We can't just judge everything by one game. You can't judge Lampard will play him there on one game, and you can't judge how he did in that game. You know what I mean? He might have incredible games for us on the right wing. You never know. You never know. Let me just get a little sip of drink here, please. Leon, I will get to that question. Put it in the chat later on again, please. I will get to that towards the end of the stream. And then let's get to the positives. Let's get to the positive again, starting from the back. Kurt Zouma, Christensen, both brilliant. Bar that one moment when Lewis Dunk had that free header, Christensen and Zouma, bloody brilliant. Even Lampard highlighted him, said both centre-backs were brilliant last night. I'm going to be very intrigued who Thiago Silva replaces. I think he'll replace Christensen because Thiago Silva is quite short and not exactly a physical monster. So it makes more sense to keep the other physical monster that we have at the back in Zouma in there and take Christensen out. But honestly, they were both brilliant last night. Brilliant. Christensen's passing, Zuma's defending and physical toughness, I guess. I was very, 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 very happy with that. And I will get to Jorginho. I will get to Jorginho in a second. And then we have to come to Reece James. Struggled a bit in the first half, I will admit. Struggled a bit in the first half. Didn't give us enough control of the right-hand side as much as he should have done because we didn't get a grip of the game and didn't have enough possession. And that is partly down to the fullbacks. From Alonso, I expect no more, but from Reece James, I do. But then with that goal, with that 2-1 at the time, just after Brighton equalised early in the second half, what a hit that was. What a hit that was. Receives the ball, 35 yards from goal, takes it forward by 5 yards, and it just hits that. Just hits that absolute thunderbolt right into the top corner. Like Spencer Owen would say, upper echelons, top bins, all sorts. Bloody ridiculous strike that was. Insane, genuinely insane. What a goal to score your first ever Premier League goal as. Like, that's insane. It's genuinely insane, that goal. It is just mental. And then he was genuinely just brilliant after that as well. Even later on, pushed into midfield when Jorginho had to come off for Aspilicueta. Aspi then slotting in a right back and Reece James in midfield. Brilliant. Reece James, bloody brilliant. A few of the deliveries could be a bit better, but in general, you know, there's so much more to come. The guy is so young. It's his second Premier League season, but, you know, was... stop and go last season a couple of minor injuries now and again. And I'm honestly just excited to see. What else is to come from him, genuinely. And then coming to the midfielders. First of all, Kante, defensively good. Had some very good tackles, had some very good interceptions. Very happy with him. First half, struggled a lot going forward. Misplaced way too many passes, way too safe, way too slow. Got a bit better. Second half was better. I was happier with that. So overall, by Kante, I thought a good performance, especially defensively. And then Jorginho, I thought, had a very good performance. No, I'm not going to say he was incredible and brilliant, But he had a very good performance, Jorginho did. And considering how many people want him straight out, and I don't want him out, I just think Lampard won't use him, hence why I'm like, okay, if we're not going to use him, try and make money off him to invest in other areas. Or in players that maybe our systems that Lampard wants to use suit more. But if we're going to play him, if we're going to use him and he plays like that, bloody stick around, mate. Stick around. He's a leader. He's a captain. He took the penalty incredibly well. He was leading everything. Every single moment of press was led by him. He had good interceptions, intercepting the ball before he won the ball for Werner, basically. He, correct positioning, intercepted the pass, not far from Brighton's box, controlled it and played a straight pass down the line, or basically a through ball to Timo Werner. Maybe a tiny bit overhit. You could also say he just knows how quick Werner is, but if he's a tiny bit softer, Werner probably scores without having to take a penalty. But Werner got on the end of it, which is lightning pace. I will get to that, of course. Wins the penalty, and that was all Jorginho. And then he steps up and takes it. Gets the assist for Reece James' goal as well. Yeah, it wasn't a brilliant pass. It was just a 20-yard or 15-yard sideways pass from Jorginho, but it's still a good hit. He put the guy into the right position, and it was great. Jorginho had a good game. I was very, very happy with him, genuinely. And then coming to Timo Werner, what a debut to have. He did everything but score last night. Everything but score. Won their penalty. Even injured himself. Lampard kind of saying, it's a bit of a dead leg. He said after the game, Timo, that is, he was kind of in actually quite a lot of pain throughout the game. The only thing I was surprised by, why didn't we take him off then? Like, why didn't we bring Tammy or Giroud on for, like, after the 3-1 at least? We were 3-1 up. So you could have taken Werner off if he was in pain. But he played on, basically when he won the penalty, he collided just above his knee, the muscle above his knee, with the knee of Matty Ryan, the Brighton goalkeeper, and kind of injured him. He said he couldn't do certain movements and it just hurt him, but he played through it. And then when asked, will he be okay for Liverpool, he said, of course he will. You're fit for those games. You're just fit for those games. And that's the attitude I love. That's the performance I love. His movement is incredible. His work rate is incredible. His passing is good. His pace is just lightning quick. The invention that he had, for example, that near post effort later on in the first half, remarkable. Honestly, so bloody happy with Timo Werner, and I really, really think we have a bit of a gem. The fact that we got him for 50 million only is genuinely remarkable, in my opinion. Genuinely is quite remarkable. Let me actually try to get me a little bit less bright here, because I am very bright. So let me just lower that a little bit. Should be a little bit better now. Is it too dark? I think it's good. Might be a bit laggy for a second now. Should be better now. But I really do appreciate every single one of you that has tuned in. Over 80 of you watching. Really do love that from every single one of you. Again, click the wrong one. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Help me get 7,000 subscribers and then to 10,000 subscribers, and drop a like. Everyone that's watching, it's 80 people watching and we only have 23 likes. Every single one of you, go down below, smash that like button. Doesn't cost you any money, barely cost you any time, and it helps me push these videos out to more people, which of course, is brilliant for me. So please do that. I'd be massively appreciated. But let's keep going with some positives. I'm not done, because the Timo Werner thing, yeah, that's good. But I also want to talk about the system. I like that Lampard is trying a different thing. But what I want to highlight even more is we looked better defending set pieces, and we had the same back line. Okay, we had Loftus-Cheek and Havertz in a team which added a bit of height, but still we had the same back line. We still had Kepa, we still had Zouma, we still had Christensen, we still had Reece James and Marcus Alonso. We didn't even have Aspi, who still helps us in commanding everything. And defending set pieces was better. Was slightly different. We had kind of 4 people zonally marking around our own 6-yard box, attacking where it needs to be attacked, attacking the ball, and then we had a couple of people man marking. It was good. I was very, very happy with that. And generally the new system, playing Werner up front and then pushing the number 10 into there to kind of a bit of a target man. I mean, Brighton was maybe a tricky example because the Brighton centre-backs are really tall and really strong. Timo Werner even said he's never played against 3 such huge and massive centre-backs. That just doesn't exist in the Bundesliga. So also for Kai or Ruben or Barkley, whichever was in that position, to kind of lay the ball off to Timo, because he's a bit too short for that, they were always going to struggle. But it's interesting. I like that he tried it out. I like that he's changing it. I was happy with that. Guys, I will get to more things that you guys have put into the chat in a bit. Just give me a second. all right, you need to relax. You need to relax. But yeah, I like that. I like that. I'm very intrigued to see throughout the season what kind of systems we use. Will we go back to the 4-3-3 with two attacking eights at some point, which is what I'd like to see? Will it be a 4-2-3-1 for the most part? Will it be a 4-2-3-1 with kind of a second striker, which in the number 10 half of the time? So it will be very interesting. I'm very, very intrigued to see a lot more of it. I'm very, very intrigued to see a lot more of it, genuinely. We can work... DV said we can work on that. Don't know what that is, but yeah. But we can definitely compete for the title, or maybe we can win. Personally, I doubt. I don't think we're going to win the league. Personally, I doubt we'll seriously challenge. You know, next weekend is certainly going to be an indicator. If we take points from Liverpool, it's going to be good. You know, as long as we don't lose. If we beat them, incredible. But if we get a draw, that's a decent result as well. Leave this chat. Compete for the title with what chemistry and organisation? Well, the chemistry will come. I mean, we're only like 4 days into training as a squad. And the organisation will be better with Thiago Silva, I'm pretty sure. Our passing was poor, I agree, especially in the first half. Second half, we got a lot better. But generally, our passing was poor. Jorginho, Kante or Kovacic by Divic, or however you pronounce your name. Sorry if I butchered that. It's a tricky one, personally. I think it's a tricky question because it really depends on the system. If you're talking the DM in a 4-3-3 with two attacking eights, Kante. If you're talking a double pivot next to Kante, Kovacic. If you're talking a proper regista, and then you have Kante slightly ahead of him, and then another even more attacking eight in front of them, then Jorginho, for me personally. But even as a pivot, you know, Jorginho was very, very good. You could even say Jorginho and Kovacic when we play certain teams, play proper bottom of the table teams. We could even do that and sod Kante because just give us better passing, more control of the game. If we had Kovacic and Jorginho yesterday, we certainly would have had more control of the game and more possession in the first half. Would that have meant that we won the game more comfortably or not? I don't personally think so. But it would have been a bit more comfortable at times. So it's a difficult one. What did someone else put earlier? We see Pulisic, Havertz, Werner, ahead Jorginho passes are going to be pure class. I mean, yes, but let's not pretend that Jorginho is now the next Xavi either. He had a good game yesterday, but he still had bad games last season, and you know we can't say he's now incredible out of nowhere. He's still a good player, and I never said he isn't, and he had a very good performance yesterday, but let's not overhype it either. Someone said, give it a year or two, Liverpool 2-3, 3-2 maybe. Well, I'd be fuming. I'm hoping for a draw in that game. I expected more with all the hype from Havertz. I hope Ziyech can be back for Liverpool. Of course you expected more from Havertz, because you didn't think about the fact that he's only been in training for 4 days, in a new league, in a new country. Okay, he speaks English, but it's not his first language, is it now? Trust me, from someone like me whose first language isn't English, when I first went to Ireland, and I spoke arguably better English than Havertz does now, and I struggled. I mean, okay, they have much tougher dialect and accent up in Dublin, but still, I struggled. You know, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. Kepa needs to go. Kepa won't be going anywhere because we're not finding anyone that wants him. Do you think Mason Mount will get game time because he deserves it? I mean, he got played the 490 yesterday, so yes. Mount is really poor in the wing. Yeah, he isn't that good in the wing. In a 3-4-3, as kind of an inside winger, he's better. But like yesterday, that wasn't for him, and I actually felt a bit bad for him. We win 4-1 against Liverpool, but I hope you're right. That'd be bloody brilliant. Would you keep Charlie Musonda as 4th choice winger? Absolutely not. Nah, get in the bin, Charlie. The guy, honestly, the guy has mood swings like crazy. The guy goes to Celtic, follows everyone there and unfollows everyone at Chelsea, even Hazard. Then he leaves, then he doesn't play for Celtic anymore after like 4 weeks and unfollows everyone but one. And then he said, fair play to him, and I feel bad for him because he had awful injuries, but no, absolutely not. Yeah, he's younger. He's very young. He's only 21. What has Cho done not to get into the team with no natural wingers? Yeah, it's a good shout. It's a good shout. I want to talk about that. Why did Hudson-Odoi not get into the game? I genuinely wonder. Because I was very surprised when I saw that team. You know, Pulisic not there. And then to start without any wingers. Because Hudson-Odoi's work rate seems to have been good. You know, he came in early for like training, and he hasn't had any mess-ups now with under 21. So like things that Lampard wouldn't possibly like disciplinary on a disciplinary front. So, you know, it's a tricky one. To be honest, it's a tricky one, but I really wonder, something he must be doing wrong. Something he must be doing wrong for him not to come on and then not to start and then only to come on so late in the game as well. Tough. I'm hoping for more from him, because against Liverpool we genuinely need wingers, and We don't know if Pulisic or Ziyech or either of, or well, ideally both of them will be back. On Ziyech, I doubt it. On Pulisic, I'm hopeful. But you know, we need wingers, and it's very interesting. Will Thiago Silva play against Liverpool? Well, for me, for us on the outside here, I think that's very difficult to judge. I think Lampard will just decide that how training goes in the first week now. And I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I wouldn't be crazy surprised if he does start. I wouldn't be crazy surprised. Havertz actually needs time to adapt, but he's a beast, so we should give him more time to adapt. Hope you agree with me. Of course. I don't know what difference it makes whether he's a beast or not, whether we should give him more time or not. He will come good. You know, he wasn't even that bad. People are way over the top. He really wasn't that bad. You think Bayern will take Hudson over and was no, we're not going to let him go. Simple as that, because we only have 3 wingers. Even if Lampard didn't play a single one of them yesterday. I think Hudson-Odoi is not showing that confidence that may be the case. I mean, maybe, but then he needs to sort himself out, if that's true. Then he needs to sort himself out. I think I'm going to answer 1 or 2 more questions, although we're about to hit 100 viewers, live viewers, which I very much appreciate. So everyone that's here, please make sure you subscribe, if you haven't already, of course. And if you have, tell your mates to subscribe. Tell your mum, tell your dad, tell everybody to subscribe and help me reach 7,000 subs and then on to 10k subs. And of course, everyone, drop a like right now. It's 100 people pretty much watching and only 38 likes. Please, guys, go down below and smash that bloody like button. Honestly, smash that bloody like button right now. Why not? Why are you not doing that? Go down below. It doesn't cost you any time. It does cost you a little bit of time, but no money. And I'll just give you a second now. Everyone to drop a like. I know I'm pissing you off with it, but the more of you to drop a like, the less I piss you off with it. So just drop it. That'd be good. But yeah, 1 or 2 more things from the chat, and then I'll leave it at that. Ivanovic swap for Reece. Tech, you're in a good troll one today. Good troll one. What? All right. First of all, let me answer that. Ivanovic, of course, has today officially signed for West Brom. I'm glad about it. I hope he doesn't score against us, but I'm glad to see him back in the Prem. I hope there will be some, I don't know when we play West Brom at the Bridge, but I hope when we do, there will be some fans back allowed at games, so he gets a little bit of the reception he deserves, because he's an absolute legend. Honestly, he really, really is. We need to sign back Patrick Bamford. No, we don't. How long until his Loftus-Cheek last chance? Well, he gets all of this season, without doubt. He definitely gets all of this season. That's for sure. What did you make of Zouma and Christensen's performances? I said that already earlier, but I thought they were both brilliant, genuinely, other than for the Lewis Dunk header that he put wide when it was 2-1 for us. And ACS Holler, however to pronounce your name, asked, did Malong Sarr sign? I mean, yes, obviously, go back to my video, to my reaction video to him signing if you want. Who would you partner centre-back with Thiago? Personally, for me, it's Zouma, just because Thiago and Christensen is a very physically weak centre-back partnership, hence why Zouma. And Thiago is still 36 years of age, or he's about to turn 36. So, you know, you can't play him every game. So, you know, you need Christensen anyway. But guys, thank you for a few more likes. I do appreciate that. I think I'm going to leave it here. I really do appreciate every single one of you that has tuned in. One more time, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. That'd be massively appreciated. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video, or if you enjoyed this live stream, make sure you do that. And if you watch it as a video, make sure you leave me your thoughts on everything that I mentioned down in the comment section below. I will do these videos every week or after every game, the day after. So, you know, if you want to see that, if you're looking forward to that, make sure you subscribe. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea, and I'll see you next time.